How Music Impacts Society, Episode 2, Shai, If I Ever Fall in Love. Hey loves, welcome to my channel. So I just wanted to stop in before the video and just kind of give some acknowledgement to a topic that I'll be extending more on in the future as we progress. This topic is how we are bred, how we are pretty much programmed, brainwashed to believe as women that we require a counterpart, or that we require someone to be able to take care of us, or that we have to fall onto, back to be able to hold our own ground. And how this has been something that's been instilled in us since such an early age. So I've taken some suggestions of songs by some beautiful beings that are on my Twitter account after asking a question of some song recommendations of songs that were like 90s to early 2000s that kind of like depowered the woman, that took our energy and kind of like put it into a box to make it almost to where we required a counterpart. So I'm going to actually go down and speak on each of these songs of the suggestions that I found the most correlating with the topic. So that is what I'll be doing in this video. We're going to discuss all kinds of things that really don't fit our molding anymore, that we need to grow out of and that we need to release from our system, because the system that we've grown up in and the system that we've been a part of has been so toxic for so long, and we've just let it embed into our beings and let it breed into our vessels to become something that we are moving out of. So thank you for being here as always. Now we'll move on to the next clip, and I thank you for being you. I love you.
This is not a test. I repeat. This is not a test. This is not a test. I repeat. This is not a test. You are entering Tara's terrestrial aura. Are you ready? I repeat. This is not a test. This is not a test.
Welcome to my series, Music, examining music and the way it impacts our society. For this week's edition, which I will be turning into a monthly installment versus weekly, because due to time management and things like that and other projects that I'm working on, I've discovered that it's going to be much easier for me if I do this monthly instead of weekly, or even maybe bi-weekly. We shall see. Episode 2, we are interrogating the song Shai, If I Ever Fall in Love. If I Ever Fall in Love, yes. So let's look at the words, and they go like this. The very first time that I saw your brown eyes, your lips said hello and mine said hi. I knew right then you were the one. But I was caught up in physical attraction. But to my satisfaction, baby, you were more than just a phase. And if I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the lady is a friend. And if I ever fall in love so true, I will be sure that the lady's just like you. So let's pause there. So firstly, we've accepted the fact that this love blossom, this interest of romance blossomed through a physical attraction, through a magnetic attraction into the feel of the energy of the physical. So that's the first thing and the first point of awareness to this. So it pretty much symbolizes, I guess it's more of like a love at first sight. But then at the same time, is this love, what kind of depth does this love hold? What kind of depth does this love have? Because it was literally just a physical attraction. Let's go on and examine a little deeper. Okay. So, I swear the next time she'll be my friend. If I say that I can be your one and only, promise, promise, promise that you'll never leave me lonely. I just want to be the one you need. let's stop there. That's definitely a trigger point. Okay, so promise that you'll never leave me lonely, as if this person, the person giving out this energy from the song, that we're acting as if the song is more like an energy versus like the music that it is in this point of view, I guess. But this is someone who is possessive, who also is literally asking a promise to be able to keep someone there in order for them to be fulfilled and not feel lonely within themselves, which definitely is not teaching anything about self-love. That's more touching on the need and codependency. So we've now stepped into the codependency. And then also by saying that you want to be someone that the other person needs, that's also very alarming, because why is it that you need to be someone that they need and you need them to need you? If you need yourself and you are there for yourself, you should need no one outside of you. You should need no thing outside of you to give you that validation, to give you that sense of security, because if you have it within yourself, it's already found and there's no lack. Okay, let's go on. I just want to be the one that serves you. Sometimes I feel as if I don't deserve you. I cherish every moment that we share. And then it goes back to, and if I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the lady is a friend. And if I ever fall in love so true, I will be sure that the lady's just like you. And then repeat. Then the very next time, she'll be my friend. Someone who I can believe in, my friend. And if I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the lady is a friend. And I will be sure that the lady's just like you. Okay, so now we're meeting into the point of this Shai song that, okay, we've accepted that we're looking for someone that needs us. We want this person to be able to possess it to some extent. But we want this next person to be exactly like this physical attraction, but we want them to be our friend first. But we want to be able to need them. And then also to say that sometimes I feel as if I don't deserve you. I cherish every moment that we share. It's as if we're treating this being as an object. So we enjoy every moment that we share. And it's like we can't get enough of this being. Yet this being is someone that we don't feel worthy of. Because whenever we don't feel worthy within ourselves, of course we're not going to feel worthy for a partner that we're putting on a pedestal, because the song is an exact representation of that. So in conclusion, this song to me represents a need of possession as love, seeing love as an object, a physical thing over something internally that just is. This song represents an imbalance in like position in a relationship, as if one person has a higher standard to uphold. This person has placed this partner, this idea of a partner, on this pedestal so high to where this physical attraction has become something that they've fantasized into and created this whole idea of a person. So this is most definitely another standard of programming that our society has embedded within our codes. It's a great prime example of how we are literally told to put other people ahead of ourselves, to put people above ourselves, and to see people in a light above what we see for ourselves. Bringing awareness to this gives us the opportunity to investigate this and see that this is not a healthy way of loving. This is not a healthy way of being. This is not a healthy standard for society to fall with them. Hey, love. So just a little driving discussion as I revisit the edits I had just made for my latest YouTube video about how music impacts society. I'm realizing that there are so many different terminologies and interpretations of love that we can't really only set into one frequency matter and say that that's the only tune that we can attune ourselves to. Because in doing that, we are limiting ourselves, so do keep that in mind. So I do want to point out that I am not here to say that one way of loving is a one-size-fits-all. But what I am saying is there is a code that has clearly been embedded within our frequency to be able to teach us a certain way or a certain standard of expressing love, accepting love, and being love itself. And in this code, we've accepted that as a musical form. And it's something that we're literally putting within ourselves and putting in our heads to make us, to not necessarily make us, but to morph us into the image and the hearing visual perspective of a point of view of what that music is saying, even if it's just through singing it, even if it's just through feeling the vibration of it as it comes to you because you just love it so much. I think about the song that was examined in this video today, and it was Shai, If I Ever Fall in Love. That is actually a song that I held so closely to my heart as a younger person, up until even really realizing it recently, the words that were destroying myself as I was singing them with such passion. If you think about it, music is a passion. Music is something that holds a frequency, an algorithm that can attune us in so many ways. It can be something that uplifts you. It can be something that brings you to tears. And the ties that we connect with music, it's almost like it's a generational, it's a life pattern, because with every person that enjoys music, I won't say every person because not everyone enjoys music, but for the beings of us that do, and we actually like really listen to it and we give our hearts and our souls to the fuel and the passion of it, versus just like, you know, it being some little surface level thing and just like no depth, but just like, oh, I like the way this sounds. But when you actually are that person, I don't know if maybe it's more like empathic people or whatever it may be. I am not that person to know that information. But the people who do really come into tune with music and let it resonate with with their souls at levels like this, it's like whenever we put that passion and that fuel with something else, and it creates something, it creates an energy. So whenever we think about that energy that we've created for these songs, and with these songs through our energy fields merging and emerging as one, feeling so deeply within themselves as our cells move to the algorithm of the new attunement through the energy in which they feel. When we think about this, we can also grasp onto the aspect of how this could be something that we could use in another form. It could be a formulation of matter in which we're aware of now, to see where there's been aspects that have maybe failed us through the music industry of the previous aspects of ourselves. But now looking into the moving forward aspects, we can utilize these energies to influence ourselves through music that raises our vibration, that heightens our frequency, that attunes to our highest state of being. I will say, in my elder years of now, which whatever, I mean, I'm aging in reverse clearly. But yeah, so in my ages of now, I've realized that there are so many soulful artists, there are so many different dimensions of music on every platform, and if we look for those dimensions of music, we will find them. Anything that we put out into the universe is an energy in which we want to be created, or that is created, or that we want to create. It automatically is something that becomes an innate of a vibration that moves towards us. So whether it be something that maybe is in existence as we speak right now, versus something that is getting brought into existence through the energy that we're producing right now, it doesn't matter, because it does matter ultimately, and it'll matter in its form as it's meant to matter once it's consciously formed and it's meant to be. So remember that, and remember that nothing is impossible. No thing, no person, no how, no way. The only thing that's impossible is I'm, you, we, because we're possible. Anything that we dream, anything we believe, anything that we conceptualize within our state of being, we can achieve. It's just a matter of truly believing in it and putting that passion, like that passion that we felt in the music, like that passion that we felt in that song that we loved, or that show that we watched that was just like, oh my gosh, it just grabbed my heart and it ripped it out, and I started to cry because I just felt so connected with the characters. Do you remember those days? Do you remember those energies? Did you ever have those energies too? Did you ever have a show that you would watch and you would literally be so consciously consumed in it that you would almost feel as if you were the character, and you would just be like living through their purpose in that movie and that character and that screen? What happens if we take that character and we make it our own reality? What happens if we take that character and move it into ourselves and make it an expression of ourselves through the cells and the algorithms within ourselves to be able to live in the frequency and the energy in which we are creating consciously. It's more than just knowing ourselves. It's about an inner depth. It's about an inner working. It's about using the inner workings with ourselves. I'm not sure why that's not saying it. But it's about using the inner workings with ourselves to be able to manipulate our own matters of energy fields. And it's about taking away the definition of manipulate as something negative and actually contemplate that it's something that's consciously constructed within ourselves, and we're going to be manipulated by outside forces if we don't take control of ourselves. So we might as well at least manipulate the energy of ourselves. So once we live life in that light, we'll start to realize that no thing is what it seems. So we may as well make things seem as we so choose it to be by believing, by belief, by molding and enforcing and engraving a structure. Engraving's not the right word, but growing a structure through the psyche of your own psychosis. Because it's not about a psychosis. You don't have a psychosis. We all do. If you have a psychosis, we all have a psychosis. And that's just facts. Because the thing is, no two beings are ever going to be exact. When we accept the fact that no thing in this world is normal, and when we stop trying to fit into something that's not there, then we'll realize that the illusion was in our minds, and our minds are unlimited, untapped portals into this God source creation that we can do and move and change our own destinations through. Have confidence in you. Be confident in the power that you hold. And whenever you realize this power, you'll see yourself unfold, and you will manifold into new scripts and encrypt your own new DNA code, because you are amazing and you hold so much power. I just hope that you feel this power. But remember, the music is where the source, the consciousness source, is fed in ways that slip through our heads, and like the TV programming, everything, anything that we're consciously consuming is a matter of thoughts that we are using, and is using us just as much as we are using it. So be conscious and cautious without fear of what you do and things that you hear, because the energy that you're letting them in with, even if it's subconsciously, it's attaching to you. But whenever you have control and power over yourself, and you're able to acknowledge this through awareness, you're able to almost like protect yourself, because you're like, okay, I understand that there's programming behind this song, but I also understand that I am able to release that energy and transmute it back into a pure form of something that to me matters more, something that energizes me, something to take my power and see that, oh my goodness, wow, this energy does not belong to me. However, I would like to help wash it clean a little bit, to be able to take out the years of oppression and depression that have been stirred and added into society as a social norm. But okay, so thank you for being here. As always, I love you so incredibly much. If you enjoy my content, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you very, very soon. Love you and all that you do. If you agree, share your comments below. If you don't agree, share your comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback. I thank you for being here, and thank you for this short session of song investigation with me and how music impacts the mind of society. Next, we will dissect another song of the 90s, because I'm going to stay in the 90s until we move to the 2000s. And we're just going to dissect some music. And in the process, I challenge you to take a look at some of your music that you listened to as a kid. Listen to it again, and listen to it with new ears and new eyes to see the programming behind the disguise. If you enjoy my content, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm so grateful and honored to have you here. You are a blessing to me, and I thank you. I'll talk to you soon.